Well, hello, and welcome back, my friends. It's time to pop another top and continue as we were. So, I'm going to jump right into it since I was just streaming and I said I'd be back, and now I'm back. So, doing the same thing. But let's go ahead and open focus. There we go. Quick word. I'm not a sponsor. Mr. Second can of Mountain Dew today. Plus, I had some Baja Blast, so we're going to do just fine. Can kind of picture the Just Fine dog, but instead of fire, it's drowning in Mountain Dew. Mm. Oh, so good. So good. Not as good as it was earlier, though. You can tell how much you need it from how good it tastes when you get a sip. I would love to conduct a scientific survey and see if the flavor of the orange juice is consistent between each can. Let's see. All right. So where did we leave off? We created a transaction, and I'm a little bit worried because the UTXOs from let's just go ahead and do this again. We do not have the input output index. And I'm actually going to go look at this transaction. Let's go look at it in Insight. Just throw it up here. Let's see. I want. What do I want from this? Oh, is this a down arrow? Plus? Okay, I click the plus. Where do I go to see the JSON of this? Let's see, is this what I'm looking at here? Let me make sure I'm in the right place. Open up console. Well, I might have to get the transaction information and then find out the input order from the transaction. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Oh, crap. Restream. I totally forgot to close the chat, so I guess that on Twitch it's just been let's see here. Okay, got the chat back open. Okay. So these are transactions. What is it? No, this is block. I don't want to look at the block. I want to look at, where is it? Let's see. Script. Yeah, polling. That's not what I want. Polling, this thing right here. So there's the inputs and there's the output. Okay. This is going to be annoying, isn't it? I think I'm going to have to fetch the transaction to make sure that the output address is correct. What's up? Oh man, another hard to pronounce name. O zo Eminem Solomon. There, made a little chant out of it. How you doing? Solomon. All right, good. We'll go with Solomon. I can handle that one. All right. I wonder if I could get, I think I can. If I could get the script of this. I think somewhere on here. Script sig. I just want the whole thing. Meh. I don't want to worry about it anymore. All right, so I think there's a few things we got to consider. How we do the math, because whatever we don't send somewhere becomes part of the. I don't. Is it that the transaction, the all of the unspent transactions for the block become part of the block reward? Is that how it works? Oh, thank you, Gvolve. I'm not. I'm not entirely sure what the term hosting means, but tell me about it. That means that you put someone on your Twitch page and then they show up instead of your own stream. Is that what that is? I am. I'm still Twitch tarded. All right, let's go ahead and look at this. All right, so I think this create TX, we will need to have a little base URL here. And I'm not even sure. I think I'm going to have it do both. I think I'm going to, instead of rather than supplying the insight JSON, I think I'm just going to say the private key is going to be the from address. So we could just go private key on this. And then, yeah, we say private key must be a file. Or an environment variable. And then we have the to address, and then we need the kind of we need, I think maybe address amount pairings. So let's say whatever. Do it like this maybe. So we'll change this to maybe a key file. So then this could be adder.with. Key.with. Okay. Something like that. We could put another one after this. So we'd kind of want a return address. Then we have to specify. The first address should be the return address, maybe? And then we can have multiple addresses and amounts after that. Well, I guess it's just addresses and amounts is what it is. Maybe what we need is network fee option or something. I don't know. I have to think on that. Let's just get a little further first. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. By the way, apparently I missed some notifications last time, probably because the AC is turning on and off. Turn up my headphones a little bit, so hopefully I noticed the output. Or you know what I could do? Since I'm not actually listening to music, let me just change the output to be the speakers. Of course, then you're going to hear an echo when it happens, but so be it. Okay. Think about this. So I think we have multiple 2s. We need to figure out what... Okay, so we're going to have adder. I'm going to call it adder mount. I'll just call it payment. There we go. And I think with this one, we'll do or empty string. I'll do... Well, really, this is what I want to do. I want to do slice 3. So we're going to say payments. And then we're going to break this down. So payments.map. Well, yeah, I guess we could just do it here, right? We're going to split this. Let parts equals payment dot split. And then if parts dot length of 2 not equal parts dot length, then I'll do the whole help process dot exit 1 return. All right, and then we'll just return address, which will be parts sub 0, and then amount, or more appropriately Satoshi's, parts sub 1, but we need to do parse int on this. Okay. Process.argv. I guess we'd want to do a for each over, whatever. Let's just say the first argument. Yeah. What'd I do? Here we go. Let's move this up. Make it the first thing it checks for is help. Okay. So now we've got an array of payments. And so we've got a TX, and then we should be able to do payments.forEach. Probably going to have to do more with that first. Well, no, this should be good. This is such a weird syntax, but we'll go with it. like I said before, I really don't like this. It was really cool in the jQuery days. It just seems so cute, but it's not really a good pattern. All right, so payment is going to be payment.address and then payment.amount. Parse int, right? And then to do check for bad inputs. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point. I won't worry about that. Won't worry about that right now. All right. So in order to get what the output index actually is, I mean, I wonder, does this matter in the script? So this is one of the things that is a little bit confusing about these debugger tools. What I'd really like, let's see, ASN1 parser online. Let me show you an awesome tool. Load example. There we go. This is an awesome tool. This is super awesome. What we need is a fork of this for the Dash scripts. So it's got all the hex here, and you just hover over it, and it shows you what each part represents, either in whole or as a piece. And so you can tell, oh, okay, what were these bytes? Ah, this is what these bytes are, so on and so forth. So we need something like this so that, yeah, we can get the nice summary information with all the extra stuff, but that we could also just see exactly what the bytes are. Because when I was writing Node's Let's Encrypt client, Greenlock, I used this thing a ton to be able to reverse engineer how the certificates are done and what the best way to generate the certificates was. So rather than writing a true ASN1 parser that implements the full spec, I wrote an ASN1 parser that only implements the spec that ever appears in certificates. Well, it'll actually parse any ASN1 data, but it won't do anything special with the data that isn't relevant to a TLS certificate. Anyway, so this is just really cool, and that's the kind of tool that I'd like to have for a block explorer program. So that I could more easily tell what's actually in the data versus what's fluff, because this decoding isn't really that helpful. It's not, so if I have the option of looking at this or looking at this, or not, maybe not this one. Yeah, this one. Or not, no. What I wanted to point out was the JSON data. Yeah, so this JSON data here, this isn't that much more useful because it doesn't really tell me what is inside of this script, unless it does. But it's not clear to me that this is actually mapped. Well, for example, I highly doubt that block -1 or index -1 is in there. So does this say... Input, output index, address output index. Yeah, I don't really get this part. So I'm saying here's an address, and then what output index to use? I need to look up this term, see if I can get more specificity on it. Because I'm just not sure. Output value. what I need to do is I need to put another transaction of a different amount to my demo address that I'm using here. So let me go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to load this up again with another amount. Let's see. And all right, so if I run this again, it'll be interesting to see how quickly it shows up. Okay, yeah. So this uses, I guess this takes from the instant send pool as well. All right. So now I've got a different amount on here. And then if I look at this address, here are my UXTO. So I think this would be index 0 and this would be index 1, but I'm not sure because it looks like this is the larger amount. So I don't know which way that would be running. Huh. I just don't understand what if this is actually in the message and what it's supposed to refer to. Let me see if I can look this up. Index outputs. Four input addresses and two output addresses. I'm not sure if what we're doing when we say the output index is if we're referencing something that happened previously or if we're dictating something that will happen. And how to know if it matters. It's got a total there. Okay, fees. That was helpful. Again, this is a computed value from the inputs and the outputs. Whatever doesn't match about inputs and outputs is the fee. Okay, let me just try to do something stupid and see what happens. Oops. Let's say the output index is 7. There we go. Amount is expected to be a positive integer. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this out. There we go. Now here we'll find out if that output number is actually used or not. If I actually have to go... Oh, server error. Interesting. Let's try this again. I don't know if it's just because I had the page sitting here forever. Maybe a cookie went bad. Server no likey. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. Let's go change the amount here to be 100. And then let's go change the output index here. Well, let's see. UTXO string, yeah. Change the output index to be 1. TXID. I guess, could you have multiple outputs to the same address in a transaction? Because it seems that you should only have to have enough information to properly represent it, right? So if this is a transaction, I mean, it seems like I'd have to go fetch the transaction and then count which address is this amount of Satoshis to this address, because ostensibly we could have the same payment amount go to multiple addresses in a transaction. Ostensibly is not right the right word at all. I've come to use that in completely wrong context. The correct word would be supposedly. Because ostensibly means that you can see it by the way that it appears. Whereas I'm not talking about the way that it appears at all. So supposedly, you should be able... I mean, you could use multiple addresses. So address and Satoshis is not unique in of itself. It seems maybe script pub key. Could that somehow still be the same? Does the script pub key perhaps have the output in it? What does the script pub key look like? Let's go check out an example. Script pub key. By the way, feel free to ask questions, say hello, etc. Oops. Oh, and a little reminder from me to you. If you like what you like, you get more of what you like. So if this is useful or entertaining or helping you fall asleep, don't forget that. Sleep's very important. Then consider like, sub, follow, etc. Okay, Bitcoin. Blah, 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 also known as pub key script. Okay, a locking script placed on an output requires a certain conditions to be met in order for a recipient to spend. Script sig is the unlocking script that satisfies the conditions on the output by the pub script key and is what allows it to be spent outside of code. Okay, both written in script. Oh, okay. So script is a programming language. I did not get that before. I always wondered, why is it called script? It's the, okay, so it's the faux assembly language. Okay. So this is actually bad information. Oh, okay. No, it is. Never mind. I was misunderstanding. Well, you could, this is, I don't know if this is correct because I think you just get one output. You get one, I mean, the typical scenario was, okay, so maybe there's a bunch of inputs, but there's probably one or two inputs, and then there's probably, it's very hypothetical. It's simplified. It's not a useful example. It's just an illustrative example. Okay. So script pub key, got it. Do we not have the amount in here? Right. Interesting. Well, it's got a lot more stuff than I had realized. Okay. Here we are. Does this one have output script? No. Let me just close out a bunch of this stuff then. It's just hedging up my way. I want to keep that open because I'm likely going to use it again. .74 megabytes. That is insane. Well, back in my day, we wrote scripts. They were kilobytes. Bytes if we could manage. Okay, this is pretty much already done. But I really do want to know output index. Also, did I get that right over here? Okay, it is. It is camel cased. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I think the only way I can feel good about this, knowing that I got the right index, is going to be if I grab not just the UTXO, but also the transaction. So I would say that's a bit of a goof. Okay. Well, I learned how to break block cipher. That's interesting that it doesn't just say bad input or something. That the particular way in which this is wrong is something that causes their server-side code to go broke, which means that we have a potential entry point for hacking block cipher. We would just have to think about how would someone naively write a parser in such a way that the output index causes a 500? My guess would be that they're using a language that isn't memory safe and they're accessing an array out of bounds. They're looping through and they're not checking. They're just assuming that the array would be in bounds. So how could we use that information to wreak havoc on block cipher? Any ideas? I am imagining that it is probably quite possible to do that. All right. Well, carrying on. So, do I even have? Whoops. I think I lost. What I was doing here. So I'm looking. Let's go back here. I wanted to look at the transaction, I think, right? Yeah. So if I go back here and we go here, is this the transaction one? Yep. Okay. So we would have to go fetch that transaction. All right. Fairly simple. All right. I suppose I could just put null here. That's not as descriptive as promise.resolve. Because you have to put a value there for this pattern to work. Oh wait, no, this is not where I need to do that. Let me undo. Undo. Where I need to do this is on my inputs. All right, so right now I'm just pretending like I only have one input, when in fact there may be several. So what I'd want to do is I guess take the input that's the closest size and try to make it an ideal match. I guess what I'd actually want to do is take the sum of all. Oops, let me do this here. That could have been bad. I guess I want to take the sum of all the payments. I also need to figure out the network fee. Let's go ahead and figure out the network fee before I get too much further ahead here. Does Insight API have a fee estimator? Insight API fee estimate. Oh. I don't think that's part of Dash lib. I'm going to do a search in the repo to see how often fee shows up. My guess is it's going to show up in hex addresses that are given as examples. Dash core lib. Okay, let's look for fee. Yeah, see? What'd I tell you? Wait, look, fee, huh? Huh? Fee. Yeah, but it's not going to actually show in the code. Oh, okay. Yeah, look at all these transactions have fee in them. It may be that that's actually a common part of a common opcode or something. All right, I don't want to look at JSON files, so let's do this. We're going to say ignore star.json. Let's try again. Set credit fee. Maybe I should look a little bit more at the documentation for fee or for transaction as well. Because there may be some other methods on there that could help me. A multi-sigs, that's something I'm interested in. Adding inputs from. Oh, okay. Get signatures, add signature, clear signature is fully signed. Oh, interesting. Unchecked serialize. Ah, okay. So maybe I should call .serialize on that. Let me go ahead and just see. Okay. Let me run this one again. Where was get fee? Oh, that's just. Okay. Estimates fee from serialized transaction. I don't think that that will work all on its own. Okay, that doesn't seem right. This is actually in a JSON file. Maybe it's a test file. I mean, not a JSON file, a JS file. Yeah, test. There you go. So let's ignore test as well, for the sake of being able to look at this more clearly. Ah, what happened? Ah, the search is it's possessed. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, cool. Instant send fee per input. Oh, that seems really high. I don't think it's that high. But that might be where the number in CoinJoin comes from. Okay, what did I have in my... Oh no, that's not what I meant to copy. All right, so I do want to use serialize, not to string. I'll be interested to see how this pans out. Get fee based on size of transaction. Okay. So let's go back up. And where I had toString, we can do serialize. And what am I doing here? TX was used before it was declared. Ah, right. TXID goes here. In this case, utxo.txid. But we'll leave that out there for now. Let's just run change address is missing. Cool. All right, great. So let's figure out how you specify change address. So I think what I want to say is change adder is maybe payments dot okay slice 1 payments sub 0 and then tx dot change oops is going to be change dot address. Okay, let's see what it comes out with for the fee. It's console.info .get fee. See what this turns out to be. Okay. So in not having any network information, it just assumes a fee of 1,000. Okay. Okay. So, to do, get the real fee. I don't think we have a way to do that outside of the RPC. And I don't know that we have a way to RPC. So, not sure. Also, I'm getting more tired than I expected. Let me try drinking more water. My eyelids are caving in on me. Oh, also, it appears that something went wrong with the camera. Well, that's no bueno. Let's see what I can do about that. Okay, camera's working here. Let me just try flipping it back and forth. Try flip it over here, and then flip it back this way. That's unfortunate. Give me a second. Let's see if we can get it to work. Let's see if we can get the camera to connect this way real quick. Well, that's what I get for updating. Right before the stream started, I updated the camera. Oh, hey, check that out. Here we are. Camera's back. Huzzah. Are we still streaming? Okay. All right, we're back. Maybe we're still streaming. Okay, guy. By the way, what's up, Easy? Thanks for joining in again. All right, so we're going to need a way to get the real fee, and I don't know if we have a way to do that. There was this get smart fee thing. I don't know where that went. Let me try opening this up again. So we're going to find it smart. No? Fee. That's not what I want. Quick reference, maybe? Smart fee. Okay. Do we have... I'm going to ask on the Discord if we have a way to get estimate smart fee. Do we have a way to get estimate smart fee via the Insight API or any non-RPC means? Let's see what turns up. Okay, I think that we're just going to have to go with the conservative estimate that it has built in, which is fine. Maybe. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not fine. I think it'll be fine. All right. So let me see what happens if I change the output index to something outrageous. I want to see if this catches it. No, it doesn't. All right. So that means that output index, we still have the same problem that we need to fix. Which is that we need to figure out what the output index is. So go ahead and console.log this. Oops. Or was this complaint? Oh, it's complaining because I don't have the semicolons. That's fine. All right. Let's try again. Okay, so here's the full transaction. And what I need to be looking at is V out, and I need to find a V out where, dang it, and they give the value in numbers that don't make sense. It's okay. I think if I just replace the decimal place with nothing, I think that that's good enough. Right, there's the D8. Okay. But where is the value amount in this? We should see something that, let's see, what would that amount be if we converted it? Because I'm wondering, okay, that is just opdupe op hash. And then this whole bit all the way to here is the address. And then that is check sig. Okay. So I wonder, where is the value specified? Because it's not specified in script pubkey. It is specified somewhere else. Huh. Well, whatever. So I just need to find the place where script pubkey addresses matches and value matches. I think that's it. I think if I find that, then that should be good enough, and that will tell me what the output is. So I can save the output that way. Okay. Again, that was V out. Oh, darn, I should have. Here we go. Let me copy this for safekeeping. That's interesting. Stream Elements, you're a little late to the game. I've been live for an hour. But I do appreciate you showing up to let me know that I am now live. Better late than never. Okay. So that's what we got. Okay. So let UTXO index equal -1. And then we'll do out.vout.sum. And then we'll look at the vout. And then we'll say, I would like to avoid doing a parse float on this if I can. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I guess it is 9 in total, right? Is that how it goes? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, so it's 9 in total. So addresses. So if vout.addresses dot includes utxo.address. Well, I guess actually we want to do the inverse. Then return false. And then likewise, if, okay, let's Satoshi's equals vout dot value dot slice. See, we're gonna do a little trickery here. We're gonna take 0, we're gonna skip 1, and then we're gonna take 2. Wait, no. How do I do this? Slice. Oh, vout dot value sub 0 plus vout dot value slice 2 parse int 10. There we go. Okay, so if utxo.satoshis not equal to, oops, Satoshis, then also return false. Otherwise, utxo index equals index, and then return true. Wait, wasn't there one more condition? I guess it doesn't actually matter. So value. Yeah, I don't think there's any more unique information. So if you had, let's just comment this out. Then UTXO index. We would need some way to find that. Yeah, that should be good enough. -1 should cause us to puke. Let's just go ahead and throw -1 in here. Make sure it pukes. Oh, whoops. Oh, I didn't want out, did I? No, I want data equals resp.body. That's what I want. And then we got data.vout. Okay. Was it 64? Okay, console.log vout. Let's check it out. Script pub key dot addresses. Got it. Okay, good. -1, out of range. Excellent. So good. This will fail as hoped. UXTO index. Oops, TXO. Dang it. I have such a hard time. For some reason, I want it to be UXTO. I don't know why. It just sounds nicer. UTXO, UXTO. Yeah, it's easier. It's easier to move, put the tongue through the movements. UTXO, UTXO, UXTO. Yeah, just a lot smoother. I think that's why. For example, comfortable. Comfortable just doesn't quite sound right, but comfortable, it flows easier. So we say comfortable even though it's spelled comfortable. We transpose the T and the R. All right, so now let's go ahead and try this out. See how much control we get. All right, cool, it worked. All right, so I feel decently good about that. Okay. That's funny. So what we could have is just a change address and no actual address to send to. That's kind of funny. That's what this transaction says. We're just going to subtract some network fees and then keep chugging along. All right. Now let's take it full bore. So to create a transaction, it requires a private key. So I'm going to switch the way that this works. And I guess, yeah, we want to do the calculation on what the fees are going to be. Let me go back to the drawing board here. All right, so this one we can't do. So I'm just going to put, I wonder, can we put a minus through that? Interesting. That's a very weird way of handling that. Because I'd like a can't be done option. You know? Tried but no cigar kind of thing. GitHub negative checkbox. Well, let's just do this one. Can't be done. All right. So then we need to calculate ideal inputs. I don't think I want to do that tonight. Yeah, we're going to skip that for now. Now, where was I? What's in my paste buffer? That thing. What does that thing help me do? I don't think it helps me do anything. All right. This paste buffer. That's the one that I had on my mind. Okay. So what we're going to do instead here is priv key. So we'll go by this wise. So if priv key then well, I guess what we need to do is say let args equals process.argv.slice 2, and then if not priv key, then priv key equals args.shift. fs.read file let key file equals all right, let change equals rs dot shift, and then payments is whatever's left over. Okay, so go back here, fs equals required. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Okay. Okay. So to do error handling, whatever. All right, then there's going to need to be a change address. My thoughts on code katas. I don't really have many thoughts on code katas. What is the benefit that you think you're looking for with that? I guess my thoughts are I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm not opposed to them. Solve similar problems in a similar way. Develop good habits. All right, so everything should be good here. I don't actually think I want change. Yeah, so I think the change address would only take effect if there is change. That kind of makes sense, right? Okay, now I do need to transform a private key into a public key. And that's done by magic. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Let's go to this one. I'm going to use this address as the change address as well, but hopefully there's no change. And then I don't need this one anymore. All right, identifier has already been declared. Fine. So, what the letter L? A bug. What type of bug is this? I think a lot of flies die right here because I think there's this light. I think they get attracted to the light and they just go there and starve, just hang out on the fabric, and then eventually they just die and then they fall on the desk. I noticed that. I didn't have that problem in the other garage. But here, it does seem that there's little dead, small flies, not house flies, but just little critters. I think they come for the light here that lights up my face and the light here. And then I think they just never try to go anywhere else. Evolution was not kind to them. So this is, I'll call this source, whatever, UTXO URL. Let's call it that. UTXO URL. UTXO response. I was going to go over each of these, and then I think I was going to do this request. So I think what we're going to say is UTXO response.body .reduce async function promise UTXO promise.resolve, and then await. Well, then we basically have all this stuff here. Let UTXOs equal empty array. And then we would just have UTXOs dot push. Oh, let's mark that up here. Where's that go? Okay. Yeah, so then we'll do a push on this. Like so, like that. Yeah, let's try it out. Hey, oh, it didn't break. That's amazing. I'll have TX URL, TX response. There we go. I'd probably call this something more fun, like I don't know. UTXO. Get UTXO. Or get UTXO index or something. Anyway, so we got that. That shouldn't be a problem. All right, now this should work. And we should still end up with a script, but this one's going to have a little bit too much. So I should probably sort these. Where should I sort them? We would want, okay, so I'm just going to put to do. The ideal would be the smallest amount that is greater than the required amount. Well, actually, that's not true. The ideal would be hold on just one second. I want to see, is prettier working properly? No, it's not. Weird. Or, hold on. Is my pretty RC not correct? Pros wrap always. I don't know why I wasn't wrapping the comment there. Okay, that's not even the ideal. The ideal would be any amount that ends up being the exact amount. So if there's any amount that we could add together that would end up being the exact amount. And I wonder what that would be. This seems like one of those it would be a good interview question, but I don't know if it has a really good answer. We could definitely go from largest to smallest, looking for the most ideal amount, and then let's see, what would be a systematic way to approach that, where if there is a perfect amount, you're guaranteed to get it with arbitrary denominations. I thought about this before once, and I don't know if there's a standard solution more than brute force. I think this is the same problem as the traveling salesman. I think you just end up trying every permutation, and you can have some rules that help optimize, but I don't know if there's a rule by which, given a bunch of arbitrary inputs, you can figure out very, very quickly which inputs are the best match for a given output. Anyway, let's carry on. And it's getting kind of warm in here, so let's turn the AC back on. There we go. Okay. So that's going to try to add up everything together, which is just fine for right now. Oh, let's see if we can figure out that private key. Let me go see. I'm pretty sure in the documentation it tells you how to turn, well, it will definitely say somewhere in the documentation how to turn a private key into a public key. Might be .public or something. Let's see, we got to whiff, from whiff, to public key. So not to public, but to public key. There we go. Let's see what we get there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. All right, so to public key. Oh, to address. There we go. That's the one. Not to string. Well, maybe still to string. To address. Let's just see what we get on that. Okay, let's try to string on to address. Hey-oh. All right, good. All right, so now I expect the script to be a little larger. Oh, what happened? Address is required. Invalid argument. Where? Transaction, where? 106? Let's take a look at 106. 106. Change address. What do we say change was? Change was arg shift. Okay, let's try. Oh yeah, so this is just change adder. Let's go back here, call that change adder. Oh, still got a problem. Invalid state undefined. Well, that doesn't sound good. Check state preconditions. Now, how are we getting an error and then still getting something else afterwards? Where'd that reduce go? Ah. I was not awaiting the promise. Okay. There's still something that's going on. Let's see, line 112. There's still something. Oh, I know what else the reduce needs. Hold on. We need an await here as well. All right. Dust amount detected in one input. Okay. I guess that's fair enough. Let's see. And one output, sorry. Dust amount detected in one output. My guess is that it might have been 0. Oh, no. Dust amount because the amount that I gave was 100. So let's give it 20,000 instead. Okay. And now let's go look at it and see what we get. And there should be some way to try to max this out. Oh, that one doesn't work. All right, let's do this one then. Pew! Okay, so now we've got all of the inputs. So I did not realize this before. I should have. I probably did realize this at some point, but then forgot that it's not simply that you're taking an address and then spending the UTXOs of that address. It's that you're taking an address and you're spending the UTXOs of that address, meaning individually. It matters individually. So you're not spending the balance of the address. That's what I meant to say. You're not spending the balance of the address. Each UTXO is a coin. Unspent transaction output is a coin. Okay. So you know what would be really fun? Would be to put a bunch of UTXOs on this thing, where the UTXOs are the exactly the API keys that are necessary. So send this UTXO, send this and this and this, plus the payment amount, so plus 1,000, I guess. Yeah, I don't really care about that. So we accept terms. We don't need to withdraw. And then we just send money from that address that we want to send. So this is actually pretty easy. The hard part is that we have to look at the transaction history and be able to read these numbers. And I'm wondering, are these going to, these are going to be coming from the hot address, I think. Okay. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to do this. Yeah. Okay. All right, so now we've got a tool that creates a transaction. Hmm. All right. Let me think about this for a second. Interesting. That looks really weird. What? They're actually putting this in the URL? This doesn't look right. Okay, let's go back here. So we've got the ability to decide what we're going to send. Yeah, we made sure that that's okay. So let's say, so here's my change address, which hopefully I don't use. And I want to be able to do a sign up. So sign up is equal to sign up message. There we go. Or better yet, let's call it message sign up. There we go. So there's our sign up message. And then I'll just put in here. See this one? And this is going to be message agree. Then the amount that I want to stake, it's going to be some amount. Well, let's actually see how this works. So I'm going to go into my merchant thing here. I'm going to go ahead and print out some addresses. All right. Rye is the one that is the source address. And this other one is the destination, right? Yeah, okay. So the destination is going to get the change, it's going to get the sign up, it's going to get the agree. I think what we want to do here is also say plus 1,000, plus 1,000, because that's going to be the transaction cost. We already know that. Okay. So let me just try this out. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do the create TX. I just want to look at this and see if it allows it just fine. So outputs. Weird amount, weird amount, weird amount. Cool enough. All right. Well, let's see if our dash lib gives us the ability to send. That, I think, is the next thing. And we may not have that. Let me go back over here. So we can sign. All right, and then we can send. And we need data URL encode. Okay. So let's go ahead and do console.log. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that anymore. This would be console.debug, I guess. Debug doesn't work correctly in JavaScript. This is kind of annoying. Console.debug should go to standard error, but instead it goes to standard out. So you have to use things like .warn, which doesn't quite make sense. But it's what we have to do. Let's do this. Fee. Yeah, I don't know. tx.hex. There we go. There we've got our tx.hex. And then raw tx. Yeah, there we go. Sure. Raw tx.hex. All right, and then we need a send tx.sh. And then here, all we need to do is data URL encode. So we just need to do cat raw tx.hex. It's going to be my raw tx. Pew. And then we would have my raw tx. Okay, I think this works. I don't know why it's giving me the... Oh, it's just residual. Not residual, vestigial. Leftover. Okay, so that looks good then. Create sh. Sure, let's try it. Fee is going to be 1,000. Interesting. And then send tx. Heyo. There it goes. That's that. So now let's go ahead and check our addresses again. And oh, interesting. So here it hasn't it's not measured as spent yet over here, but it's measured as received already over here. That's interesting. It kind of makes sense. So the software that you're sending from has to keep track of what you've already spent until it lands in the block, I guess. Or maybe you can, I wonder if there's a way to get mempool stuff. Let's see. We have Dash Insight API mempool. So, can you tell me the transactions that are going to go in that haven't been committed yet? What did it say my TX ID was? My TX ID was 444. There it is. That's me. Okay. Let's go back to this and see. I think it happens every 2.5 minutes, so it may have already landed. Okay. Yeah, so in the time that I was sitting here, that already landed. So if we run this again. Oh, I wasn't. Silly me. I was just reading the first number rather than reading the whole line. So yes, this is correct right here. It says this amount minus this amount is 0. This amount minus 0. So this total inputs, total outputs, balance. Probably should have put balance and then put in parentheses uh, inputs minus outputs. That's probably the way that I should have written this if I was thinking at the time that I did it. Which, you know what? I can change that right now. Why don't I go into this? And then where we have our console dot info. There we go. Much smarter. Okay, and again, how many is this supposed to be? 9 total. Right? Is that the number that we came to? Is that the total is 9? Let me go back to looking at one of these things. This, and where's does it show you what the script is? Let me go back over here. Addresses. Where do we have? Where's one of the ones where it shows value? Bah humbug. I had one up that was showing that. Well, let me just go ahead and get this. What? Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, because there's. Oh, there's no. Dang it. Oh, we'll do the other address now. Now the other address has all the monedas on it. So let's do the other address. Okay. Confirmations. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it is 9 total. Confirmed. All right, so let me go back in here and make sure that my numbers are correct. So first of all, let's go to total. So yeah, we're gonna pad to 9, not to 10. And then we're gonna pad. Where's credits at? All right. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. What am I doing here? Give me, yes, this. Okay, so dot to string. There we are. Or we could put it in the other way. kind of do want to do that. Kind of want to say the total is okay, let's try putting this out. Okay, yeah, I think that's fair enough. It gives the right number. Let's see. Fix format. Balance correctly. There we go. Okay, so I've got that. SendTX worked. So now it should be time. The only thing that we have left is implement some sort of polling on this thing. All right, so sign message to Dash address, send message to hot wallet. Okay. No. All right, sign message to Dash address, send message to Dash address. I'm going to be interested to learn about multi-sig. I think I've got some interesting ideas in my head about lower transaction fees on CoinJoin. Well, maybe not, because I think part of the CoinJoin protocol is actually on the server side, on the network side, because I think they reduce the fees significantly. But maybe there's a way to do it with different inputs that are just less likely to be filled if there's fewer people mixing with those denominations. But yeah, instead of going by tens, we need to be going by, 5, 2, 1. That might be few enough. I'd also like quarters. But fifths and halves are, pretty darn good, because if you mix a lesser half with a greater fifth, then that's a quarter. And if you take, we want 1 and half of 1, or 0.1 and half of 0.1. So if you have half of 0.1 plus a fifth, then you've got a quarter. It takes one more input, but not that much more. So you can do a lot better accounting that way. Anyway, so we're going to send the message. We figured out the signature stuff. We got the message sent. Send raw TX. Okay, so now send from number 2 to hot wallet to agree. Send, sign up, agree, and then we want to check balance. And I don't know, I mean, it doesn't specify that we have to wait for the response. Um, oh, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to do, ugh, and what's that called? Octothorpe, maybe? Octothorpe? It might be Octo. Let's see. HTML Octothorpe. Escape. Mm, ampersand Octothorpe. Octothorpe. Meh. Character entity codes. Ampersand. What? Mm, letters, numbers. I mean, it technically isn't a number, so I guess I could understand why it's not here. Punctuation? Oh, there we go. Oh, and num. Yeah, okay. I'll take that. If you're selling it at half price, I'll buy. Okay, let's see how it likes that. Who would have thought it'd be so simple? Be the obvious one. That's just ridiculous. All right. What? No! Oh, that's so silly. So apparently there's not a way. Well, you know what we could do. We could backtick escape it, I bet. Yeah. All right. Okay. A little silly, but actually I'm gonna look this up. GitHub escape number sign. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Oh, there's an invisible character. Okay, got it. Let's try this one. That seems the least offensive of all of these. I don't really want to be inserting invisible characters because you know how that turns out. And if you don't know how that turns out, well, it's a bug that takes all day from 2 developers to solve. That's how that turns out when you put invisible characters in text. All right. So now let's go ahead and let's see. We're gonna try this out maybe more than once. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say let's exercise the full API all at once, right? Um, so we're going to go back. Oh, one thing I need to do, I'm going to do this in the other window. Actually, I think I already got it up in the other window. Is I'm going to change which is my private address now that I have successfully exhausted what was my private address. So over on the other window, yeah, I don't want you stealing my pennies, so I can't show you my private address. My little penny address over there. Anyway, so let's say we're going to create tx.sh. But we're going to send it to the hot wallet. So where's the hot wallet address? And then I'm going to spend another session on this, just kind of tidying up. Let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this. Okay, so yeah, great. Send to CrowdNode. That's what we're going to call it. And we're going to get rid of these extra thousands because that would screw us up because that's not actually part of the API. Just was wanting to cover transaction fees. But yeah, so let's go to hot wallet. And then we're just going to deposit everything on there and see what happens. Hot wallet. I'm wondering if maybe I should do these one by one. Let's see if they say that we have to wait for a response. You need to have coin control, be able to manage the change of address, and otherwise ensure that you always send from the same address. All API commands and responses have an offset of 20,000 DUF. Any other subsequent transaction, so subsequent means transaction that comes afterwards, will be considered a deposit. Okay. Deposit received. Withdraw queued. So we've got to withdraw. Auto withdrawal enabled, auto withdrawal disabled. We're only having blockchain API users. There's no way to log in and see what's going on. However, we have a UI. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to do this. This is kind of cool. But I do think that we actually will need to queue these up one at a time. I'm wondering what's the best way to go about this. We might need a little utility. Let's see. What is it called? BitPay Insight? Is that what it's called? I think it's called BitPay Insight. Without raw WebSocket. Because they show an example of how to use Socket.io, but you don't have Socket.io if you're using Go or whatever else. So there must be a way to just use a normal WebSocket rather than crazy abstraction layer. Let's see. WebSocket. WebSocket. Okay, these are pictures. Quick install. Where's the documentation? Documentation. View documentation. There we go. No! Deprecated? What? Say it ain't so. So where are the WebSockets at? Hmm? Oh wait, no. Quiet mode, AC, quiet mode. Actually, I'm just going to turn you back into auto mode. There we are. So the auto on and off doesn't really seem to work on this. So when it starts getting cold, it doesn't care. It should know, hey, my temperature is set to this. It's below that temperature. No, I, it's one of those things. I got it from one of those surplus stores. It turns out it's the illegal European model. When I called up their support center over, it had stopped working for a little bit. But then after fidgeting with it, turning it off, turning it on, letting it sit, it started working again. So I'd called up the support center and they could not figure out what the model number was. And eventually they checked their European, their global list of model numbers rather than the US model numbers. And it turns out that it's a European model. So I guess by mistake, a European model got shipped to the United States and then they couldn't sell it. And so they sent it to one of those surplus stores. Okay, wallet service, wallet clients. Yeah, I don't see anything here about this. I don't think this is the right thing. This one of these is the inside API, the other one is not. This is view documentation. This is not documentation. Is there documentation here? Okay. Okay, let's try this one. Insight. Does it have documentation? There's the documentation in here? No. Okay. All right. Let's try again. Dash Insight API. This is not API documentation. Do you people not know what an API is? This is installation documentation. This is not API. Okay, API endpoints. There we go. Web. Come on. Come on. Somebody is connected to this without using Node. Seriously. Okay. Well, I'm just going to try this. And see if it works. Oh, this is so bad. So bad. Look at that. Not even declare the variables. What evil people. Why do they hate the world so? All right. I've not been strong on the victory sounds recently. We need some victory sounds because we missed some really good ones. Here's my excuse.
Give me a chance to wake up, sweetheart.
Okay, so that's not what I want to go back. Okay, so here should just be able to do that. I want to watch the network. Message. What the letter L is this? Okay. Headers. Oh, that's HTTP, HTTP, HTTP. WebSocket. Okay. So first message. To probe. Going to connect 5 to what? This doesn't even make sense. Oh, I think these are the types. I think it's enumerating the types of messages. Let's see about that. So what was the... All right. Okay. Event to listen to, TX. Right. Wait, then shouldn't it be sending TX? I'm a little confused. Okay, network. To probe. Reprobe. 5. Is that really? I don't know. That doesn't feel quite right. Let's just refresh this. See what we get. Do we have any that are WebSocket? Okay. We got a WebSocket here. 2 probe, 3 probe, 5. Okay. That's weird. I'm just going to look at socket IO 2 probe. Okay. Maybe there's some information that I'm missing. So let's see if I could just use normal WebSocket and get this to work. Because that'd be awesome if I could just have this API bit work out for us. I might pick this up tomorrow because I think I can get this thing started, and then I could just have the WebSocket be an optimization. But what I'm a little bit, I think it's a little bit weird is I don't see. So I see 2 probe up, and then 5, and then 2, and then 2. And then 2, I'm guessing this is just keeping it alive. I'm guessing it's doing this every so often. But what was the point at which it started? This doesn't seem like it's actually filtering out events. It looks like it's just getting all events. Let's go take a look over here. So, internals overview. Okay. Heaven help us. 5. That's all I got. That's all I can search for is 5. Server API. Client API. See all 29 results. No results were found. Yeah. Okay, well let me just see what happens if I set up a WebSocket in the old-fashioned way. So new WebSocket. I'm trying to remember how this works. New WebSocket. Send. URL protocols. Okay. So let's see. What are we doing here? SID. Now, where to get SID from, I wonder? I wonder if it did something. Let's go back this way. I wonder if it did something. Version. Status. Let's look right before we start to get the WebSocket. Let's see if there's any interesting information here. Ah, okay. So, weird. So it uses a side channel. Do we have anything before that? Okay. Okay. So it's using a side channel to set up the subscription. I don't know where it's getting this SID from, but maybe we could just search it out and find out where that comes through. Well, that doesn't look very promising. So it's in the JavaScript code, okay. And then, well, maybe this is promising. Oh yeah, one of the very first requests here. Looks like polling on and T. I don't know what T equals. 05N? What does 05N mean? I'll see if that means anything. Okay, so it gets back an SID as part of this. I wonder if T just means temporary or something. 05N. Yeah. I have a feeling that searching for T is going to be painful. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, that's not going to work out, huh? Yeah, searching for T as a parameter value. Meh. Do we have anybody joining in that knows how the heck you're supposed to interpret Socket.io? Let's see if we refresh if we get the same thing. So I think I know. I think I know how to set this up without Socket.io just from this little bit that we've looked. Not 100% sure, but reasonably sure. Let's go ahead and clear all this out and just refresh. And then what I want to see pretty early on, there we go. That's our first. Oh no, this is our first one. But that one came before the refresh. So let's do this and then refresh again. Okay. So I think that this right here, I think that's not accurate. Yeah, I think that's the previous one. So let's look at the very first one that we have here. And this T, it appears to be random. I'm going to go with it's probably T as in temp, maybe just a temporary state variable. And then if we look back at the response on this, so weird. Upgrades, WebSocket. Yeah, so it's basically asking. Yeah, I think what that's doing is it might be cache invalidation. Let's see. I'm just going to search real quick. Socket IO T parameter. Timestamp. Ugh. No value is given. Yeah, cache busting. Okay. Okay. All right. So, good. Indeed. Appears I was correct. So I'm just going to note that for later. All right, this makes me happy. All right. So WebSocket notes. This will be not tomorrow, but maybe Monday. T equals. So we'll get a session ID, and then we'll have these side channels. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to list these out since I'm already here and I've got it open. Transport equals polling. All right, and then you're gonna get back a response, and the response is gonna look like this. Now I don't know what these numbers mean. 96, 0, 2, 40. Hopefully we don't need any of them. Okay, and then the next request that goes out. Let's see, is this one. $22, $422. Interesting. And then it's going to get back an OK. And this one has all the headers in it. It's interesting that they choose to do the encoding the way that they do. So there's our first request, there's our next request. This is the first response. And then the next response is going to be OK. All right. And then what's the next thing? Oh, and that was a post. So this is a get. And this is a post. Okay, note. So let's say post here, get here. And then the next one is a get again. Doesn't seem to really be doing anything. 1, 6. That's ridiculous. My guess is that this is not necessary. I'm guessing that just tells it some sort of information. Yeah, you subscribe to a channel or some such. All right, and then after all this, then that's when it actually, and I'm guessing that the EIO means which version of the protocol. All right, so there was one more. So it looks like does it just poll twice? Maybe because it's polling to set up something. Oh, interesting. I'm wondering if this 23, if that isn't maybe the number of characters. Well, no, because we had 422 and now we have 423. I wonder what this means. I'm thinking that the number. So I actually wrote a protocol that tunnels over WebSockets, and a very common thing in protocols is to have a number of bytes or something like that. This seems more than 23, but less than 423. So I'm not sure what that might mean. Hmm. That is such a weird, weird way to go about it. All right, so it's going to be post, more of the same. So ditto. And then this is the request. Very strange. And then the response is okay. So it looks like it's just choosing what to subscribe to. So I could probably look in this and figure it out. And then after that, it's the real deal. WebSocket connects. And then it's doing the 2 probe, and then the 5, and then occasionally it's doing 2. So it's the next thing that happens. Two, which goes 2 probe, 3 probe, 5, 2, 3. And then what is it? After 5, it just starts getting messages. Ping, hello, welcome, ping, pong. Okay. So that's all of that. It seems like somebody ought to have documented how to use the Insight API with WebSockets before. Because there's got to be somebody that's using the API, not with Node. There's so many different backend options. Or maybe if I just Googled for Golang and Socket.io. Let me just try that. Golang Socket.io client. Let's see what this person's got. Meh. I kind of just want the bare bones. Anyway, I just because I'm curious, I do want to look at these, and I want to see if I can decode this. I think I can. So we're just looking at this very simply. Var x equals. So what we're going to be looking for is, say, split on colon, or really, let's do index of colon. So we're going to look for the first colon, and then we're going to say, okay, so I want slice from 0 to 2. So it gives me 23. And then I know that there's going to be 3 characters after that colon. So then I would say, give me x slice of what would be Uh, 3. Okay. And then to 23. That doesn't seem right. Or is it 29? 29? That doesn't seem quite right. Is that to the next colon then? Okay, so let's say we go 75. Well, first of all, I just don't remember. Okay, so this is the number. So 23. Maybe it's giving me a smaller number because it's assuming the opening and closing brace. So let's say it's 27. Oh, wait, sorry. So first of all, we're taking 23 plus whatever number it is, so 29. Maybe it is colon to colon. Okay, so let's say that we are then we're doing, let's say we're doing 29 to 70, 75 plus 29. Oh, and then plus 3, right? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty close. So I'm not quite sure how it's basing the offset, but we're basically just taking an offset of bytes, and that is the first parameter is the length. Now 423, 424, 420, 421, 425. That I don't know what that's supposed to signify, but I can figure that out later. Maybe if I just search socket.io 423, maybe I'll figure something out. Four 23, 422. Come on. Is anybody on the stream old enough to remember when search engines would allow you to search for the thing you're searching for? Because there actually was a time when if you put in a search term, it would actually return results for that search term. I think that as search became bigger, there's too much variation on the web, and so it's easier to bucket search categories if you reduce them. So if there's 10 different ways to spell a word or use a word, they're all similar ways, then you can literally reduce your indexes by 10-fold if, well, actually not 10-fold because you don't know how much usage it is, but you can significantly reduce the weight of your database if you can just index one word that means 10 different things. And so at some point, that's what I'm assuming it is. Also, I think part of it is natural language processing. When I was in school, we had a class on how to search, and they taught you, hey, if you want to search for something, think, what's the most important word? And use that. But I think as search became more popular and people started basically just typing questions, and so I think search engines wanted to respond to that. And so they started giving what people meant to ask rather than what people actually asked. And that just makes search difficult. Anyway. Um, oh, this is not sent to CrowdNode. CrowdNode sign up. Sign up, sign. There we go. What do I want? Create TX? Yeah. Because I actually do. I do want to do this. So this is change equals. We're going to put the change address. So we're going to do change, and then we're going to do the sign up. And then we're going to do what? Bash send tx dot sh. And then we're going to sleep for 120, 180, 240. We're going to sleep for 240 seconds. And then we're going to repeat. But we're going to do the agree to terms. And then we're going to send our deposit, which is going to be more. Okay, do we have 5 zeros behind our transaction? Let's go look at that real quick. Bah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, all right, good. So we should be able to send that without a problem. And then after this one, I don't think that we would really have to wait the full. I think of both of these. Let's try to slim this down. Okay. All right, let's see if this works. So now we just sit for a couple minutes, wait it out. Or I guess we don't have to. As soon as we know that this has received a response, which with instant send, I think is instant, we could continue. So we probably don't have to wait all that time. Okay. So let's go ahead and just look here. All right. So, oh, look at that. So that's our accepted. So we actually don't need to wait any further than that. I'm going to have it wait, instead of waiting so long, first I'm going to comment these out because, whoops, I don't think they're actually necessary. But I think waiting, say, 10 seconds should be more than enough. Let's see if we can just watch this. All right. There we go. Oh, wait. Okay, so I think that that's still going to work out. All right, so it took a little bit longer. So they're processing stuff. Did the amount was sent? All right, so here's what happened. They didn't acknowledge it yet. So yeah, we do need the WebSocket solution because otherwise we don't know how long to wait, and we don't want to wait the full 2.5 minutes. Because it looks like what happened here was that they sent back the money. So they didn't know what to do with it. They had not acknowledged accepting it yet. So yeah. Because this was an acknowledgement. This was, we don't know what the heck to do with this money yet. And then this was an acknowledgement. And so I'm actually going to have to send one more time for this to actually be effective. Or wait, hold on, let me double check. Yeah, this was from them. That's them sending money back. All right, and that is an acknowledgement. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to go check our balance. Let's go do it. This is kind of weird. Get a list of all funds filtered. Get the balance of your account. All right. So we can put some pretty around this and make it more cool. But we've basically staking accomplished. Wait, that's not right. I don't know if this is going to work out. Let's see what happens. We got special characters in here, quotes. Nothing. So balance. I don't know if I don't think that's right. So I think they're trying to give this as in what you would copy and paste in the browser, not what is actually what you would use. Which that's kind of silly, but whatever. We'll go with it. Yeah, I don't like when if you technical documentation, it's important that it be technically correct. It really is. Um, so just kind of saying, oh yeah, here's something, and this is kind of what it is. Go guess at it. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. I've had messages here. Maybe this is something that doesn't update very quickly. Let's see. Let me just open this just to be clear on how this works. Really? That this is the literal. So if I go copy as curl, this this is going to be okay. Of course, it's going to have all sorts of other fluff in there. Oh, interesting. Hmm. That's news to me. $ quote. That's something new. I need to look at that. Okay. Very interesting. Let's see if I run it if it works. Okay, well, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence though, because I'm expecting to get something back. All messages you have sent and their statuses. All right, let's see if I can get the balance of my account. So let's just say echo messages. And we might have to try this again tomorrow and see if it's just kind of slow. Balance. Oh, I don't want test. There's my problem. I want main. App. Okay, there we go. App. That's our problem. All right, what's the other one we might want to look at? Get a list of all funds. I wonder if that means all of the UXTOs I've sent. Ah. Okay, obviously, I want to change that out. But here we go. Heyo! All right. So messages, not so great. Huh. Funds. It's kind of annoying. Let's do a little bit of this. JQ. So there we are. Much better. All right, so let's take a look. Total balance. I think that means. Let me go back and look at their API again, real quick. Deposit received. So do I have a deposit received? Let me go back here. Where is it? This one. Okay, yeah, I got a deposit received. Great. Cool. So this is pretty neat. I am going to start staking. I like this a lot. We're gonna get this cleaned up in something that feels a little bit nicer. And what we need to have is a little bit of a bouncy do, where we run this tool, and when we send to the address, it just automatically forwards it on to the hot node. I think that's what we want. Okay. Let's go back here. All right. When command is running, whilst command is running, auto forward new payments to hot wallet. And then, withdrawal rewards with unstake. I think those are all the things that we need to do. All right, so let's take a look at this. I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to try this one more time. All right, so here, I think total balance, total active balance, total dividend, got it. So I think total balance means how much, what portion from this address, hold on a second. What portion from this address is being staked? I think that's what that means. Total active balance means how much of what's being staked is actually deployed onto a service node that is actively staking. Because you're staking so that when others stake and the amount reaches 1000 Dash, a new service node is deployed. Okay, total dividend. I think this means how much you have available to withdraw from your rewards. Okay. Funding type 2. I think that's a refund. Yeah, so it's a withdrawal. It's a refund. Okay. And these, it's interesting. I think it's just not categorizing messages properly because it's saying messages none. But I don't think that's correct. I think it's just not categorizing them. Because we can see here, there was a refund. Let's see what it says about funding type. Please accept terms. So I think that's why it's calling it funding type 2. All right, funding type 3, 2. What was that supposed to mean? I don't know what that means. Okay. Amount is deposit accepted. This one is agreement accepted. This one is please accept terms. This one is please accept terms again. That's kind of weird. Okay, that's appears to be a rounding error. No, 522. Please accept terms. Please accept terms. Seems to be this. Something's off here. I want to look at this in the Explorer. See if I can understand what this is about. Deposit activated. Oh, okay. So it's got the positive and the negative here. So I think this is, yeah, it's messages going both ways. But I don't get what this is. Comment null. These don't seem to be real amounts. I'm wondering if it's measuring things that happened before. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is looking at the address collectively. It's not just looking at the. It's looking at all transactions on the address rather than the ones that are addressed to the hot wallet. So interestingly, okay. All right, funds open. Let's just try this out. Pew. What does this mean? Interesting. Oh, okay. This is starting to make a little more sense now. Ah, yeah. This makes sense the way that they want to show it. API command, API response. Got it. Right. And the withdrawal was just a refund. That wasn't really a withdrawal. Okay. Yep. Cool. Very cool. Very interesting. All right. Let me think here. I think we've made it. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna do this one. Good. And then we're gonna do the same thing with merchant wallet. Whoops. Huh. see, dash lib. Okay, there we go. Make sure that's all good. Whoa, I'm live. Was I not live? Is something going on? Was there a hiccup? Was there a hiccup in the network? My bombs? Have we been network hiccuping? What is what about? What did you miss? I'm doing some git commit here. Probably just need to get rid of all those addresses out of the file. So say maybe 10 seconds isn't enough, so 30 seconds. Dash CrowdNode. So it's basically, put in simple terms, Dash replaces your bank or offers an alternative to your bank. Staking is putting money in the bank and you get interest off of what you stake. So you put money in the bank and then you get 7% interest. But the bank requires that you have a minimum deposit of 1,000 Dash and that you run a service node. So basically you become a member of the bank. So basically it's a credit union, not a bank, right? So Dash is an alternative to a credit union. And CrowdNode, since not everybody can come up with 1,000 Dash, CrowdNode runs service nodes and it uses what you deposit. We need to figure out, hold on. We need to figure out how to know what the current hot wallet is. Oh, I bet they keep the hot wallet the same, and then when it hits 1,000, they just transfer over to the service node that they create. That's probably what it is. Okay. Anyway. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to put this here. I think before starting on a new series, you should probably make a 1 or 2 minute intro about it and use the command intro to send that link to the intro video so everyone get up to pace without asking. That's a good idea. Thanks. I appreciate that, Ela. Very wise of you. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Merchant wallet.js and dash core lib. All right. Create tx.sh. So we should have, okay. I do, when I'm starting a new series, I do generally ramble for 5 or 10 minutes about what it is that I'm doing. But it's probably generally not my best explanation of the series. But I could definitely put that link in the a pound intro. Well, but I couldn't actually make the pound intro work for that particular series. What I could have is a playlist of intros, and then you could see what the intro is for that. Or I could have a different command for each intro CrowdNode, intro daypass, intro, so on and so forth. I have to think on it. What is the best approach here? Okay, what was I doing there? Oh, I was going to do get remote add origin. Boom. I'm going to have to. Can you rebase an empty? How about can I do get stash for everything and then do get pull origin main? Interesting. You don't have an initial commit yet. Well, how do we solve that problem? Oh well. Just keep on going. All right, what else do we need or not need? All this looks good. All right, so I want to change this to be source address equals. Let me just cross that out. And then we're going to make all of this be source address. There we go. Okay. And I double quote all the things. What API are you using for the YouTube commands? It's called Stream Elements. So it's just something that someone else had recommended that I check out, and then I did. Okay. Okay. And then we're actually going to do this maybe? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. So $ quote. I don't know what that means. It's new to me. All right, so I want to replace all instances of this with just source address. There we go. I'm going to put this in register A so that I can deal with this. Oh, right. Okay. So I'll take this whole thing. from here to here. Put that in registry A. Okay. And then paste from registry A. There we go. And then we'll paste this one from registry A as well. Looks a little funky. Not sure if that's actually worth it at all, actually. I could probably just... Yeah, well, I guess that's kind of what I gotta do. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's try one more time. What was the other thing I needed to do? I needed to go into merchant. I needed to run this again. And I need to check to make sure that I'm not using this address anywhere either. And then I load it up. Okay, I'm not using that address anywhere. Not using the XO address anywhere. So we're good to go. Okay. Git ignore CrowdNode list. Okay, git commit -m initial commit. Heyo. Did that work? All right, let's see what happened here. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to call it a night. We were able to send to the hot wallet, sign up, and to agree. And let's see, commands to check stats. And send deposit. We did that. All right. Well, what can we say except... Oh, wait. Does that... Oh, it's supposed to be like this. What can we say except... Hopefully that was good. Okay, well, that's all I got. This has been a wonderful session, a wonderful night. Got lots of stuff done. Super excited about it.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
How bad's the echo on that, by the way? Would love to know. If you enjoyed this, found it useful, entertaining, or whatever helped you fall asleep, consider a like, sub, follow. You can also join in on the Discord if you want to. Hope that you learned everything that the stuff. Learned stuff. Hope that you learned stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of tired. Kind of late. But this is really great. You know, it's nice to get through a full cycle of the demo and then kind of have you know, the MVP, and then kind of be able to say, yeah, you know, maybe we can take the next session, we can get the WebSockets implemented, and then find a way to package this nicely. I would like to have a web interface around it as well, but I think that would be another session, and I don't know, priority-wise, if I'm going to be able to do that. But yeah, it's a really good start to having good wallet tools, and hopefully moving towards having an online wallet that you can run. I mean, having these tools, one of the great things about having these tools is if you can have an API that runs on your own wallet, and imagine that when you use a phone app, it connects to your online wallet and you don't have to deal with all. I mean, if you're trying to use Dash for day-to-day purchases, it sucks to try to use Dash in Walmart. It sucks so bad. At first, I was just euphoric over the idea that it worked at all. But now that I've actually had multiple experiences where I'm going to Lowe's, I'm going to Walmart, um, going to Home Depot, just going to restaurants. Usually works decently well in restaurants. Um, but the kind of stores that I'm hitting regularly, the thing that's really frustrating is that because it needs so much network access, it's got to sync. Dash Wallet has to sync. Dash Direct has to sync. There's just too much going on. What I really need is something that can make a really tiny web request and get back the balance information. So just so I can see it at a glance, right? It actually doesn't even matter. It's not even important in order to make a purchase. And then when I want to make a purchase, I just need to be able to say, hey, tap this app, and I just need to be able to make a request out to my wallet to say, hey, send money to this address in this amount. So if I can get to a point where with the network connections crappy, which is all the time, because even if you're on 5G or whatever, you're competing with other people, you're in a store, the signal's not good, blah, 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 right? So I need to have a way by which I can just send one request and have it go through and have whatever the thing on the other end is just deal with my wallet. That's my online wallet. And I think that is a really realistic and achievable goal, especially after going through this tonight. Although it does stink that the UTXOs behave in the way that they do. But we can work on that. Okay. All right. Now I'm really out. So again, thanks for joining in. I will go ahead and put us a raid on somebody. It looks like somebody I'm following is up. Togglebit. Let's go ahead and throw things on Togglebit. So raid Togglebit. Boom. All right. Here we go. Well, everybody, thanks. Have a good night. Adios. Oh, wait, I'm still recording? I thought I hit the off button.